The Grand Story. And Joshua was called to face the task to bring the chosen race into the promised land of grace, their holy calling to embrace. Through many battles lay the road to gain the land which God bestowed. On Abraham through Isaac's line, through Jacob's sons was God's design. At Jericho they marched around the city till the walls fell down. At Ai there was loss and grief, for in the camp there was a thief. At Jebus Jacob's heirs were trapped by crafty tricksters in a pact, and swore to treat the Jebusites as friends and on their side to fight. When all the land was in their grip, the tribes to Shechem made a trip. There Joshua reviewed the past and called the people to hold fast to every word of God's good law, to keep the covenant they swore, and chose to serve the Lord Most High and keep his ways, or else to die. But Israel worshipped wood and stone, put sun and moon upon the throne. On Israel's throne there sat no king, and every man did his own thing. The covenant was soon forgot, they stumbled to a troubled spot. No justice and no rule of law, no respite for the hungry poor. Oppressed by foes who did not care until they called to God in prayer, then God would send a saving judge, whose victory made oppressors budge. But then they turned away again and worshipped idols all in vain, oppressed by foes who did not care until they called to God in prayer. Then Othniel by spirit bold shook off the eastern stranglehold. King Eglon was by Ehud tricked. Then Barak had King Jabin licked. Deborah wise and Jael smart made up for Barak's lack of heart. Then fleecy-minded Gideon defeated all of Midian. And Jephthah beat the Ammonites, but what he did was never right. The final judge was super strong. Some things he did were very wrong. His secret strength was in his hair. While it was long, no one would dare taunt Samson or to agitate, for he was boss with no debate. Among the Philistines one night, Samson was shorn and tried to fight. His strength had fled, his eyes they burned. In Gaza's jail the mill he turned. By day, by night, his hair regrew. He prayed to God for strength anew. One night of frenzied revelries, Samson repaid his enemies, and Israel fell to civil war. No respite for the hungry poor. On Israel's throne there sat no king, and every one did their own thing. And those who dared to take the road faced trials at every yard they strode. But who is this that shimmers bright? From Moab comes a shaft of light. Elimelech and Naomi left Bethlehem to go and see if there was bread in Moab's land. From hunger they could hardly stand. Elimelech, alas, then died. The lads both took a Moab bride, but death was near and both sons fell. Naomi's grief was deep as hell. To Bethlehem 2 widows came in poverty and mourning shame. Naomi's heart was filled with grief. Her sadness knew of no relief. To Boaz's field Ruth came to glean, and found a haven where no mean, no violent-hearted predator defied her noble comforter. Under the shadow of your wing, let me find peace, your praise I'll sing. To you I will stretch out my hand. O grant me life and let me stand. Come feel my pulse and make it race. Come fold me in your warm embrace. Provide for me relief from harm, and let me pour out all my charm. Then Boaz blessed the Lord and said, Rest here, dear Ruth, and make your bed. Before the sun has set this day, you will be mine, and this I pray. No longer will you be my guest. I'll hold you to my lonely breast. The Most High God will be our praise. My home, my heart are yours always. Ruth stayed and lay down at his feet. And in the dawn he rushed to meet the elders at the city gate, to clinch the deal and celebrate. In Bethlehem scandal to deter, a kinsman's sandal would transfer to Boaz every legal right, to rectify the widow's plight. And Moab's daughter, firm and loyal, from Boaz reaped a harvest royal. Their son was Obed, Jesse's dad, and David, Jesse's youngest lad. On Israel's throne there sat no king, and every man did his own thing. No justice and no rule of law, no respite for the hungry poor.